Good day everyone. So welcome to Genelect 3, the Entrepreneurial Mind. So my name is Crystal Faith A. Lau, LPT. You can call me Miss K or Mom K, and I'll be your instructor for this subject. So Genelect 3, the Entrepreneurial Mind, this course will introduce us to the meaning and attributes of entrepreneurship. So, paano tayo magiging innovative? How can we distinguish if we are a risk taker or not, and even our self-reliance. And also, we will be learning the social role and impact of entrepreneurship and the concept of being an entrepreneur contributing to the economy and society. The course requirement of this subject will be a marketing plan. So that is the final requirement of this subject. So expected that we will be making a unique marketing plan. Depende kung saan kayo under na course. For example, if you are under engineering program, so we will be making a marketing plan that is related to engineering. And if you are under sa nursing, criminology, IT, education, business administration. So, dapat connected yung marketing plan nyo sa kurso nyo. So, the grading system for this subject, actually, the grading system is uniform siya sa lahat ng subjects. So, attendance is 5%, participation, 10%, quiz, 25%, then exam is 60%. So, ang may pinakamalaking impact sa grade nyo is your examination and the quiz. So, after discussing all the lessons from week 1 to week 17, so, ang total learnings na makukuha natin for this subject is first, the characteristic, the values, the attitudes, the behavior, and associated process with possessing an entrepreneurial mindset and engaging in successful, appropriate entrepreneurial behavior. Pangalawa, the meaning of entrepreneurship and innovation from both theory and sa practical na perspective, and also the role of the entrepreneur in the new enterprise creation process. Then we will be criticizing an entrepreneurial process or journey, reflecting on inherent enigma associated with entrepreneurship. Then we will be developing a personal development plan. As what I have said earlier, this will be your marketing plan for future entrepreneurial action and continued learning based on personal reflection and external feedback. And lastly, you will be engaged in a continuing learning process through the interaction with peers in related topics as individuals and as a team member. So, expect na dito na subject, we will be having a lot of group activities. So, for our discussion today, we will be discussing the week 1 and 2. So, the title of our lesson for today is the entrepreneur. So, first, we will be explaining the characteristics and types of entrepreneur. Then, we will acknowledge the contributions of entrepreneurs, then discuss the sources of capital for an entrepreneur, and lastly, we will be distinguishing the advantages and disadvantages of entrepreneurs. So, class, reminder, if you have questions and clarifications, I will accommodate your questions and clarifications later after our discussion. And also, additional to my reminder, I will be choosing sa klase nyo na merong mag-synthesize ng discussion natin today. So, let us proceed to our formal discussion for this day. So, for the definition of entrepreneur, according to Investopedia, it is an individual who creates a new business, bearing most of the risk and enjoying most of the rewards. So, the process of setting up a business is known as entrepreneurship. So, yung pagtayo ng negosyo class, ang tawag doon is entrepreneurship. And yung nagtayo ng business or nag-create ng business, ang tawag sa kanya ay entrepreneur. So, the entrepreneur is commonly seen as an innovator. Okay? He is an innovator. Iba ang innovator sa inventor. Okay? So, ang entrepreneur class is commonly seen as an innovator, a source of new ideas, goods, services, and business or even procedures. So in short, an entrepreneur is someone who develops an enterprise around an innovation. Sample, ang Apple Company. Apple Company didn't invent the GPS or yung tracking system ng mga cellphone ng Apple. With the innovation outlook ng Apple Company, in-incorporate niya ang GPS sa mga cellphones nila. So, that incorporation na part ng isang bagay doon sa dati nilang produkto, that is called innovation. Hindi siya invention. Pero yung paggawa nila ng cellphone nila mismo, yun yung invention na part. Kasi 'di ba sila yung, for example, doon sa iPad na product nila, they are the first company that made the iPad. So, incorporating a GPS to their iPad is called innovation. Kasi meron silang dinagdag na feature sa produkto nila. So, entrepreneur manage the business and assume the risk for its success. Ang tawag dito na characteristic ng entrepreneur is mga risk taker. So if we say risk taker, it is a person who is willing to do things that involve danger or risk in order na ma-achieve nila yung kanilang goal. So meron tayong mga different types of entrepreneurs. We have the hustlerpreneur, the lifestyler, the dealerpreneur, the makerpreneur, jack of all-preneur, sluggerpreneur, travelpreneur, sidepreneur, the do-goodpreneur, the geekpreneur, and the incubatorpreneur. After this discussion for the week 1 and week 2, while ongoing ang ating discussion, I want you to think kung saan kayo nabilong dito na type of entrepreneurs. So, first is the hustlepreneur. So, if we say, hustler, it is someone that knows how to get any job done, whether he knows the traditional way ba to do it or not, or he is both confident and passionate about getting where he wants to go, or a combination of vital to any entrepreneur. So, within those two factors, class, there is an undying ambition that will always be asking for more until the world has become his playground na. Then, ang lifestyle entrepreneur is, any individual na nag-create o business with the main goal of improving their life in some way. An example of a lifestyle entrepreneur is someone who travels the world and posts articles and pictures to a blog throughout their journey. Then we also have the dealerpreneur. So, ang dealerpreneur focus on the buy and sell na perspective. So, they buy this particular item, eventually, they gonna sell it na lang sad. Then we also have the makerpreneur. The This kind of entrepreneur class, he has a interest in the hands-on creation of new things, from arts and craft to technical innovations. Then we also have the jack of all preneur. In short, jack of all trades. So if we say jack of all preneur, it can run many different businesses, but it is not an expert at any of them. 'Di ba? If we say jack of all trades, magaling siya sa lahat ng bagay, pero master of none. Then we also have the sluggerpreneur. So, this kind of entrepreneur is a fighter who delivers hard-swinging punches. So, in short, no time for chill. Fighter kayo ni siya na type of entrepreneur. And then we also have the travelpreneur. It owns a profitable business that is not restricted to a certain location. So, this kind of entrepreneur can't stay put to one location. Eventually, he will go to another for a business na naman na operation. And then we also have the sidepreneur. It is described as an entrepreneur who begins a business, but remaining in employment as an employee. So again, kaning sidepreneur is a entrepreneur who begins a business, pero maliban sa owner siya sa isa ka business is that she or he is still employed sa other na trabaho or business. So, like me, I have a sari-sari store that I own, but I'm employed as an instructor sa John Paul. So, I'm a sidepreneur type of entrepreneur. Then, the do-goodpreneur. So, if you describe someone as a do-gooder, you mean that they do things which they think will help other people. Although you think that they are interfering sa imuhang gustong buhaton. And we also have the geekpreneur, engage in or discuss computer-related tasks obsessively or with great attention to technical details. So mga geekpreneur, mga techies type of people na into computer-related na mga tasks, or kanang they know anything about the technical details. Then lastly is the incubatorpreneur. So in the business world, an incubator is an enterprise that is set up to provide office space. Maliban sa office space, nadara ang mga equipment and sometimes mentoring assistance and capital to new businesses that are just getting started. Yes, which type of entrepreneur are you? So let's have a sharing after the discussion. So the entrepreneur, so economists have never had a consistent definition of entrepreneur or entrepreneurship. So the word entrepreneur comes from the French verb entreprendre, meaning to undertake. An entrepreneur is a person, again, who starts a new business and usually risk his own money to start the venture. So example of well-known na mga entrepreneurs include si Bill Gates, si Steve Jobs, and even under sa diri si Mark Zuckerberg. So, even myself is an entrepreneur because I start my business with my own money. So, there are three thinkers included. So, we have Joseph Schumpeter, Frank Knight, and Israel Kirzner. So, Schumpeter class suggested that entrepreneurs, not just the companies, were responsible for creating new things and also searching for profit. While si Knight naman focus on entrepreneurs as the bearer or tigdala sa mga uncertainty and believed they were responsible for risk premiums in the financial markets. While si Kirchner thought of entrepreneurship as a process that led to the discovery. So, to understand more about sa entrepreneur, I'll give you a storytelling part of the entrepreneur side. So, I put myself as an example here sa storytelling. So, let us meet Kay. She is an entrepreneur, which is a person who starts a business. So, si Kay, she recently graduated from college. This is just a story. So, Kay recently graduated from college with a degree in computer programming and has developed an application that she believe will make her a small fortune. Instead daw nga magtrabaho siya for 9 to 5 for a software company in Silicon Valley. If you are familiar with the story of the Silicon Valley where the Microsoft is well known. So, kaysa sa sige magtrabaho daw sa Silicon Valley, why not mag-start siya o iyahang sariling business like developing her own application. So, she decided to start her own. She wants to challenge herself and work the way she wants to without answering to a boss. So, she is using a small inheritance to fund the startup. So, as an entrepreneur, Kay is not only starting a business, but she is also risking her personal wealth to establish it. So Kay here is also trying to convince some friends from school to form an entrepreneurial team with her. So if we say entrepreneurial team, it is a group of people that help spread out the risk of the new venture and also bring in different talents and skills sa business. So Kay has a friend who majored in accounting and another who majored in marketing. So she is hoping that they may come along with her and bring their skills, and maliban sa skills, Kay also need a funding for the business. If she can build the right team, he can create a synergy. So if we say synergy class, it is a mutually advantageous conjunction or even compatibility of distinct business participants or elements, such as resources or even their talents or efforts. So, she can create a synergy where the group can achieve more together than they can apart. So, example of entrepreneurs, Kay hopes that his entrepreneurial gamble will pay off as well as the gambles of other well-known entrepreneurs such as Bill Gates. Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, so there are probably not many people that have not been touched by one of his products such as the Microsoft Windows, Microsoft Office, and Internet Explorer. Then we also have Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple Computers, which produces Macs, iPads, and iPhones as well as Apple TV. Then we also have Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook. Then we also have the founder of eBay. So his name is Pierre Omidyar. So class, in short, entrepreneurs are like gamblers. Are you familiar with gamblers? 'Di ba mga nagsusugal? Sa business kasi, kailangan natin sumugal. So, like any gambler, their chances of winning will increase if they have the right cards. So, let's look at some characteristics and skills that an entrepreneur succeed. So, first is a tolerance for risk-taking. A tolerance for risk-taking is a necessary attribute for entrepreneurs. You can think of risk-taking as pursuing an activity even if there is a chance of a negative na consequences. Plus, starting a business is very risky. And even more so when you are using your own money. Sometimes kasi, you can spread the risk convincing different investors na mo venture sa imuhang business or by forming an entrepreneurial team. Like Kay, sa tuwang example ka ganiyan, no? Na gi-invite niya ang iyang duha ka friend, iyang accounting and marketing friend to venture to her business para somewhat makatabang sila sa accounting aspect sa business and paunsa nila i-market ang ilahang application na na-develop. And then, with that technique or strategy, at the end of the day, Japon class, you can't avoid risk if you are going to start a business and innovate your products. Ang risk kasi sa business is kaakibat na kasi ng business yung risk. So, every decision that you will be making, mga ideas na imuhang ginahuna-huna, you have to think about the pros and cons of it. Entrepreneurs also need to be creative. Think about Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg. These two entrepreneurs brought innovative products to the market that changed the way we live right now. Successful entrepreneurs innovate in one of two ways. First, they can bring an entirely new product or service to the market, like the first cell phone that we have. Then, pwede sad sila mo improve og old product in a dramatic way, just like the iPhone changed the world of smartphones. And then you have to possess having an initiative as an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs lead. If you are not willing to start without being pushed or motivated, your new business will never get off the ground. For example, Kay, we will be relating this to our storytelling kanina. So Kay had an idea fresh out of college and took the initiative to start his business venture. But no one had to convince her to start the business. So, sariling kagustuhan ni Kay ang mag-venture into a new business. Walang nag-push sa kanya na, uy, gawin mo to, ganyan, ganyan. Magandang business to. Pero, sa situation na yon, kagustuhan kasi talaga yun ni Kay. So, it means, she is willing to venture at all risks sa business or sa idea na nabuo niya sa college years niya. We have 7 characteristics of an entrepreneur. So first is the versatility. An entrepreneur who is versatile class opens doors to different opportunities than those who are not. Versatility manggod can also be considered in terms of learning about cultures and other languages in order para maka-communicate ta sa tuang customers. Additionally, obtaining information on a regular basis, obtaining information about the business industry in order to be more competitive than other businesses in an important characteristic. Then we also have the flexibility. So, as mentioned in the previous traits, possessing the ability to look through paghihirap and keep on moving forward is very important. So that is called flexibility. Flexibility in business kasi is considered in terms of altering your product or service due to changes in demand or different circumstances na ma-face natin, no? And accepting and applying changes in the business while keeping the risk of a loss minimal is flexibility. Then we also have the resourcefulness or being a money savvy. So the general idea is to use the resource gathered for a business in a manner na ma-generate natin siya on a most effective result. So, ang pagiging resourcefulness is a technique to choose specific tools, adapting a realistic attitude that can help in the short and long term na mga goals natin. So, in our competitive business sector, it's considered a talent to use less resources and generate more results without hindering the quality of your products and services na binibigay sa inyong mga clients or customers. Furthermore, developing a network is important aspect of pagiging resourcefulness natin. Then we also have the resilient and self-confidence. So a successful entrepreneur must be confident in its abilities and sa kanyang mga plano. So in the course of a business sometimes, a phase arises where an individual becomes victim of circumstances and begins to fail in functioning properly. So, as a result of that circumstances na kanyang pinagdaanan or ang business niya will begin to fail, that individual will decide to quit. It is evident every entrepreneur will experience negativity, but those who constantly remind themselves to remain confident in their abilities are the successful entrepreneur. Always remember this mantra. Every time you face failure sa buhay nyo, sa business nyo in the near future, or sa saang part man kayo mag-fail, always remember this or always say this to yourself, I can do this. If you want to put your idea in action, always tell yourself, I can do this. If panghinaan kayo ng loob, always say to yourself, I can do this. The next is being optimistic. Being optimistic is another source of fuel for an entrepreneur. So, in the business sector, it is evident that a business will experience some sort of failure. No matter how long it has been standing in the market, expect that there will come a time or there will be a time you might experience pa rin a failure. Kahit gaano mo pa katagal dyan sa market na yan, 10 years na nakatayo yung business mo, there's still a possibility na yung business mo will fail. Accepting failure and learning from those mistakes to re-enter into market with new strategies is element of optimism. So, class, ganito kasi ang sekreto ko every time I face failure. Sa lahat ng mga failure na napagdaanan ko, I don't think of that as a misfortune, but as an opportunity to be better. Okay? So the basic idea here as an optimistic entrepreneur is always remind yourself this. Okay? This will work. I just need to keep on trying. If you feel sa plan A nyo there's still plan B, C, D, E, F, G, hanggang Z. Just keep on trying. The next is business smart. Knowing how to manage money and understanding financial statements are critical for anyone running their own business. Knowing your profit, your expenses, and how to decrease or increase your prices respectively is very important. Making sure you don't burn through cash will allow you to keep the business alive. So implementing a sound business strategy, knowing your target market, kinsa tong ang imuhang mga customer, maliban sa kilalanin nyo yung mga customers nyo, you, you have to study your competitors and also study your strengths and weaknesses. These things will allow you to maneuver the difficult landscape of running your business. And lastly is communicators and excellent listener. Successful communication is very important in almost every facet of life, regardless of what you do. Mapa-estudyante ka man, mapa um, employee ka man, mapa-business owner ka man, and etc., communication is very important. It is also the utmost importance in running a business. From conveying your ideas and strategies sa mga potential na investors, hanggang sa pag-share ng business plan mo with your employees, hanggang sa pag-negotiate mo ng mga contracts with your suppliers, all require successful communication. And among different factors which build up a successful entrepreneur is being an excellent listener. A businessman or woman class will meet different people during the course of the day and as well hear different suggestions and even criticism. So, carefully listening and understanding such feedback and then accordingly, if necessary, making changes is the golden trait an entrepreneur should possess. Giving attention to feedbacks and criticism kasi will help us enhance our products and services para maging better tayo sa market, and with that magkakaroon ng good relationship with our clients and customers. The next is the types of entrepreneurs. So we have the builder, opportunist, innovator, and the specialist. When it comes to being an entrepreneur, kasi class, there are certain personality and characteristic traits that will define the type of entrepreneur you are. It is not the case that ang mga entrepreneurs are kaparehas lang silang tanan. These are distinct differences between each individual entrepreneur, so understanding the four types and identifying which one you are could help you to build a more successful business for the future. So, dito na part, we will be knowing if saan kayo dito na type of entrepreneur. If you are a builder ba, opportunist ba mo, or innovative ba mo, or the specialist type of entrepreneur. So the builder is this type of entrepreneur, they build companies from the bottom up quickly and efficiently with high revenue yields within the first 5 years. So they focus on creating a solid infrastructure to ensure its success by recruiting the best talents, mga investors, and even ilang mga customers. So builders are incredibly motivated and continuously striving to achieve more, particularly in terms of money. So they have a need to be in control, which is what sets them apart as a great leader, but can also create conflicts Then we also have the opportunist. So these individuals have an uncanny skill at seeking out well-timed money-making ideas. They understand that the success of business is all about growth lang. So dyan talaga na part, from introduction to growth, wala na dun sa part ng maturity. So, with that, their mindset kasi is paano sila lalabas ng kanilang business or paano sila mag-exit dun sa kanilang business. The right time. Na hindi sila malulugi, they can have their profit, then makakapag-exit sila ng maluwag. They will seek another opportunity to look na naman for another product or business that have a growing na mga products or a growing business. Then eventually, cycle na naman siya. So, maghahanap ng opportunity na nag-grow, and then eventually, iiwanan na naman kapag ka nasa declining stage na. Hindi na iniisip or hindi iniisip ng opportunities na merong ways like maging innovative sa kanyang product. Ang kanyang ang kanyang way is that mag-i-introduce siya ng kanyang product, then after sa growing part and hitting that maturity stage ng kanyang product, iiwanan niya na kapag makikita niya na nagdi-decline na yung produkto niya. Then we have the specialists. So, the specialist entrepreneurs are intellectual, analytical, and relatively risk adverse. So, they focus on providing specialist services that are customer-oriented and generally not about a hard sell. So, the specialist kasi is motivated by personal income. So, most companies run by specialists. Then we also have the innovator. So, the innovators of this world are those who find a breakthrough or discovery that changes the world we live in. So, they like nothing more than inventing, designing, and developing concepts that they are passionate about, which organically causes the business to build around them. Typically, class, they are not interested in the running of a business or even motivated by money, but are more interested in how their products or services will impact the world. So, yan yung mga innovator. So, having defined these types of entrepreneurs class, no, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be put in a box of one or the another. Dili lang kanang perspective kumbaga ba na builder lang jud ka, opportunist ra jud ka nga type of entrepreneur, then innovator or specialist. Many entrepreneurs class are made up of two or more dominant characteristics, which has led to their success. So, for example, say Richard Branson is considered an opportunist builder. Si Bill Gates, a specialist builder na type. So, duwa ang iyahang type of entrepreneur. Specialist siya and also a builder. Mark Zuckerberg, innovator, and also a builder. Now, you just need to figure out here which are you most dominant. Then, our last discussion for today, so we will just be continuing the other till tomorrow. So, 7 types of entrepreneurs based on their work. So, entrepreneurship class is not a one-size-fit-all type nga model. So, there are different kinds of small businesses. And there are different kinds of entrepreneurs. So, here are the list of the 7 most common types of entrepreneurs. So, which type or combined types are you kaya belong? Diri as a 7. So, first is the home base. Home-based entrepreneurs are self-employed, so they run their business alone or with just a few employees. with headquarters being their own home or a home office, like my sari-sari store, but I don't have any employees pa. These business owners love the flexibility and autonomy of working from home, as well as the freedom to arrange their own schedules. And these businesses usually don't have a storefront, street advertising signs, or customer parking. So, examples nito are bookkeepers, mga tutors, mga graphic designers, and even a small sari-sari store owner. Then, we also have the internet-based. So, internet-based entrepreneurs run their business online and use virtual technologies to support business activities. So the business can provide a service or sell a product through a website. Some internet-based class na type of businesses can be home-based too. Example, mga virtual assistants, mga marketplace sites such as Shopee and even Lazada. Then we also have the lifestyle. Lifestyle entrepreneurs rank furthering their own personal goals. Second, to making a large profit. So lifestyle entrepreneurs can pursue a cash-generating hobby during their spare time or even start a business based on an interest lang. These businesses usually are not intended to be high growth and usually have few employees. Example, mga second-hand na mga bookstores or even a small market class na kanang nagabaligya og mga homemade na mga big goods good kana siya mga lifestyle because they are doing what they are passionate about. Then we also have the high potential. So, kaning mga high potential entrepreneurs usually run companies employing between 20 and 500 people. So, these companies are often a very fast-paced type of business with a high growth rates, developing the latest technologies and innovations. So, there is a high potential. Most startup activity by entrepreneurs is technology and internet related. So they are often able to get funding easier than other sorts of businesses. For example, uh, dito sa Pilipinas, we have the Philippine Development Foundation that is founded by Diosdado Banatao. So, that is a high potential type of business, the Philippine Development Foundation. And also, Rappler by Marisa Reza. If you are familiar with the Rappler News, they are a high potential na mga business. And even the Idea Space Foundation by Diane Eustachio. So that the three businesses are high potential or the example of a high potential type of business. Then we also have the social. So social entrepreneurs are passionate about making a positive impact on the world around them. So they create a business to provide solutions sa mga social issues. So they are also called non-profit or philanthropist entrepreneurs. Funding for social entrepreneurs typically come from non-profit organizations, mga foundations, mga governments, and non-governmental organizations. For example, yung Rags to Riches or the R2R na palabas and edukasyon.ph. Then, we also have the venture capital. So, venture capitalists invest in businesses through managerial and technical expertise as well as with money. Venture capitalist class are very picky about the companies they invest in, and as much as 98% sa mga firms na ilahang ginapangita are rejected. Aside from individual, angels, and venture capitalists, venture capital firms also exist. So, example ng venture capital, I'm not sure if you are familiar with the CBC na palabas ang title series ani kay Dragons Den. Kaning Dragons Den manggod class is a reality television program format in which ang mga entrepreneurs pitch their business ideas to a panel of venture capitalists in the hope na makasecure sila og investment finance para sa ilahang um, produkto na ilahang gibuhat or sa business jud na gusto nilang itukod with the idea na ilahang i-present sa mga kapitalista. Then we also have franchise format with the direction and support of the franchisor. Ang franchise format entrepreneurs class open a franchise or chain in their local business area. These entrepreneurs follow the structure of their franchise and experience less freedom and autonomy than other types of entrepreneurs kasi nga meron silang sinusunod na policy. However, they also enjoy the reduced risk. So, ang kagandahan na ng franchise format is that ma-lessen talaga ang risk because you have a policy or mga procedures that you follow and you have a support from your franchise. For example, like Jollibee, the 7-Eleven, and McDonald's. But the problem lang jud class is that you have a lesser freedom. Hindi kayo pwedeng magkaroon ng sarili nyong policy because there is already a policy implemented sa company. So I think that is all for today. Let us continue our discussion tomorrow. So if you have questions and clarifications, please do not hesitate to ask.